Hello everybody, this is Havoc, and welcome back to our final video on Against the Storm in our tutorial for absolute beginners. And what we have done is a little bit of forward thinking and a little bit of advancement into the future. So we are on year 5 in our storm, and we have a hearth that is upgraded to level 1, will soon be upgraded to a level 2. On top of that, we have some fancy housing for all of our villagers. Now, admittedly, not everyone is completely happy. We will definitely expand that today as we advance into our last final stages. We have our last, I would say, decently difficult districts and layouts and things of that nature. I think we can get our advanced outposts. And then it'll be a manner of getting our clearance and our stormwater all figured out. This may be a short episode, it may be a long episode, I'm not quite sure. But I'm glad you're here, and I hope that you've learned a whole heck of a lot about the game and how it operates. So we are going to begin by simply hitting play, and we need to approach all of our things in relative quick succession, so we can address all of the goodies that are going to be left for today. And we want to make sure that our harpies are completely taken care of. And we can see here that not even our beavers are completely taken care of. So we can address those all separately. Now, the only thing left for our ancient hearth over here is another set of decorations and a few more decorations for our harmony. We can do this pretty simply. I can build a really big park here, which counts as 4. And then we can add a nice little park bench right next to it. We can surround that by just a couple of decorations as well. Or we can go with an ancient tombstone that I think would fit really well there, but I would almost rather want to put another set of lizard's posts to finish that out. That will get us to a level 3 over here. Now on this side, we have quite a ways to go before we get, and that's okay. That's not a problem. We still have the ability to get on these outer fringes while our woodcutter is working on cranking all of that out. So let's go ahead and get a couple of overgrown fences here. That's a fence there. That doesn't really make sense to me. Neither does a plant, or at least a lamp rather. So we are going to surround this with some not so great foliage, but it'll still look pretty darn good, I think. We don't want that there. We'll put it there, and then we'll slap an anvil. Yeah, we'll put an anvil over there. Let's not get too crazy by having things in the middle of everything. We put a bush there. That will work for our nice little garden section for now. Now we have things like a bakery, which is boosting our biscuits and our pie as long as they can make the goods, which is what they're working on now. And we have our next cornerstone as well. We can simply get a boost to all the housing in the area. I don't really want to do that. What I want to do, just to kind of limit our output, everything, is that every villager with their need for religion, no, we're going to go with Safe Haven. Actually, we're going to use our last reroll. All right, this is pretty nice. Alarm bells. Workers have a 25% higher chance of using double yields when the expected corruption rate is 150%. We are nowhere near that, so that is not worthwhile. We could do +1 to wood production, but we lose all the things that would require wood. That's not going to happen either. However, what we could do is a trade hub. Gained 1 reputation point every time you sell goods worth 60 amber, while slowing the reputation gained from Resolve by 75%. That's okay with me, because we have a lot of trade routes and a lot of trade goods that are currently being used anyways. We have some newcomers, which will take our last newcomers. You don't always have to. And I do want to make that known. It's not a requirement in any way, shape, or form to do it. And it brings us our hostility levels up by quite a bit. So we do want to manage it and balance it appropriately. But like I said, we are also kind of nearing the end of the thing. So I tend to let loose just a little bit before we do anything, before anything gets too committed. All right, we need one more loyalty decision. We need some clearance water. So what we're going to do is we're at the point where I am comfortable with reducing the clearance, any boosts that we will experience here. So that way we can start collecting all the water that we need to collect and utilize it to the best of our abilities. And we can see here we're gaining, but it is significantly slower. And now nothing should be using rainwater at all. And so, yep, they're not using it. These guys have no reason to use it. They are using it, but no more. The bakery is no longer using it either. These guys are just running around and doing their own thing. We can get some people into here. There's lots of stuff going on all at once. This will be our level 2. Very nice. We only need 2 more people. We do need services, which is a bit of a bummer because that's going to require a lot from us to be able to move around and cut through to open that up, but it's going to happen anyways. Do we have services? We don't. So that's one thing we're going to have to figure out how to get. I don't have an additional services building that could be utilized. So instead, let's focus on things like increasing our decorations and bringing in a couple more villagers, getting in some aesthetic decorations and some comfort in the chaos of all of this stuff that's going on right now. Let's get things moved around so they can get addressed appropriately. And we are going to drop a really big thing here. That's all we would need to fill that up. We need 7 more of those and some comforts. So let's get some comforts going and some aesthetics. Let's go ahead and drop some benches on each side, a very nice little sitting spot with some barrels in the back as well. And move this guy so we can get these all along. These guys will eventually pop up as well. Let's go ahead and get some fires going in some of these corners so as to try and make it kind of as comfy as possible. A lizard post next to the farm because why the heck not? And we'll get rocking and rolling. All right, well, we have a trader come in, Sir Renwald Redmane, and he has a services building. We're gonna buy that right off the bat, and look at this. This could not have gotten any better. We have +3 to biscuit production. Absolutely. We can have 3 resolve boost to humans. Absolutely. Gain 3 wine for every 15 ale. We're not making that, but we can get traders that come in a bit quicker. This is amazing, and I could not have asked for a better thing. Now, what we can also totally do is we can, let's see, we could buy some biscuits. Let's go ahead and just stock up. We have the ability to. Why not just give some of these guys a little bit of a break while also maximizing everything that can be provided for us? I don't know that we could squeeze all that, and it is a little excessive, but I think it'll work nonetheless because we got a lot of trade goods. We have a decent number of packs of goods. We have loads of sea marrow. I don't even have to use my amber for it. There we go. Now that is bonkers. I mean, just absolutely bonkers that I just did that. And now as a result, everyone gets all of the bonuses and they will start pushing that resolve, which again is not quite so as much now, which is unfortunate, but it's where we're at. There we go. We got our last reputation bonus, which we can totally use to make a tinctuary. A tinctuary will allow us to have ale and wine. Gotta find a good place for it. Build it right outside of the beavers area over here. And get that rolled in. There we go. And why not? Let's go ahead and get a mine rolling as well so we can get some coal going into this thing. And a small warehouse over here. Help it as so now we have enough people. We have enough space for services. Oh, we don't. We are incredibly close. Let's just carve out this section real quick. Get my woodcutters over here as well. Look at that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you win. It's not just from your reputation and orders. At least it isn't on the higher levels. Get away with it here on the smaller levels. But it's really, really about getting your reputation up higher in these sections. Let's go ahead and delete that. We need to find some more stone, but it's not absolutely crucial. We'll be okay. I just need a space for this right here. All right, and as you can see, now when we take that hit, we are still perfectly fine. We are perfectly fine. I love it. Let's go ahead and come over here. We're gonna gain lots and lots of good things. Yes, lots and lots of gold. which is going to be very, very helpful for us overall. Yeah, those negatives, they suck. They hurt. Don't get me wrong. They are not fun, but they aren't hurting us as bad as it could. And we should actually be able to build another rain collector, and in the next year, we'll be able to functionally use all of that too. Once we get this out, we get our form, we're going to go into Forbidden Glade, which will wrap up our series definitely, because we'll be able to get all of this done here very, very soon. But I want you to be able to see what a Forbidden Glade looks like. There we go. Our forum fits, even if it's just barely. There we go. We got our last cornerstone for this series, 50% to the amount of goods produced in plantations or on small farms. All of those are awesome. And so we're actually just going to go with farming tools because it doesn't really matter. I don't need these guys because, again, we're about to be done with this, which is incredible. And it's awesome to think about how we're going to get through this so quickly. And we're going to cut into this Forbidden Glade. We're going to make sure it happens so we can see the differences and see what Surprise has for us in this Forbidden Glade. We got our forum rolling up. Awesome. We don't have anything for leisure or education. But again, producing double yields up by 15% isn't too shabby. I'm going to hold off on this in case something else happens. Because again, I want to go after this Forbidden Glade for you guys to wrap up our tutorial series. There we go. All right, so we can see here, large patch of broccoli, flax fields, a manufactory, a large abandoned cache, a medium abandoned cache, and a hungry mistworm, which looks like from the Alien movie, 100%. Ooh, he's nasty. So we could feed it. Don't have the ability to. And if we did that, the forest is shrouded, making it impossible to see past the trees. Ooh, that's not fun. Cooked and raw food is disappearing at a rate of 5 items every 10 seconds. Oh, but we don't have that either. Oh no. And if we don't do that, destroys all store food, both raw and cooked. So we have to figure out how to do this. Now, there is a solution that we could totally potentially do. One, we have our trader. Our trader's coming with luxury items, crafting materials, blueprints, and perks. We have plenty of impatience left. We could call immediately. In 17 seconds, they'll be home. Or here, it costs us half a point. Not too bad of a deal overall, but we're going to hope, well, and we could also see what's in these caches. No, we definitely need food. So what I'm going to do, actually, we have eggs. We are going to ban the consumption of meat, eggs. Yes, we're going to ban that consumption for the time being, in the hopes that perhaps we can get this filled up a little faster, because that doesn't help us. That does not help us either. We're all good here. I'm not concerned. It's just one of those things that you have to learn to deal with. Our trader has arrived, and he brought nothing with him. Are you serious? All right, so we are now in a bit of a pickle, 100%. Let's see. Old manuscript, fuel consumption, no either. We could go ahead and buy up ale and that. Coats. I don't think we have the ability for tea. Maybe we do. Just go ahead and buy all the major services related related things. We'll buy that for now. Because yes, they do leisure and education. Awesome. And maybe, oh, well, no matter what, you know what? It's not going to matter anyways. We're not going to be here another 12.5 minutes, so I'm not going to worry about it. But this is something, a strategy, we'll use that to consider for your future, is that, hey, this is a solution. We need to find materials in order to do it, or else things would get really, really bad. Now, we could totally do the advanced outposts. You can see we're gaining a lot of resolve, but I want to see just how far we can push that resolve when, look at this, we're going to start seeing those perks from education and from leisure. And we're just going to let this ride out and get us our reputation all the way up if it hangs around as much as I'm hoping it will. Things are going down. We have traders in the area. Our camps are no longer having the resources that we need, but you can see everyone is significantly happier. And this, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, is how you approach this game. and you figure out how to win. Now we could totally go ahead and do this. And in fact, we're going to, because I don't know, we'll see if it does. I don't know if we can get enough reputation to where it'll boost it all the way up long enough for us to get there. You know what? I'm thinking it will. We're just gonna hang around, look at all of those things. Awesome, and here we go. We have done it. Oh, I'm so happy. We got our food stockpiles, our seal fragments, and we won a game near the abandoned settlement thing, which is awesome. That means we have completed some deeds, and this is our score multiplier overall. Pretty daggum awesome, and if we go back to the world map, we could continue, and the only reason why you would want to continue is if you wanted to perhaps reach another deed. We're not going to do that. We're going to head back to the world map, and we're going to see that over in Beginnersville, we have used up 7 of our years. We have a thing here, First Dawn Company Caravan. You come across a lively and bustling encampment of First Dawn Company. One of the viceroys sitting by the campfire waves his hand in your direction. Although it'd be wiser to not trust the First Dawn, a moment's rest will do some good. So we could recruit the caravan members. All of your starting caravans will have 2 more villagers for the duration of this cycle. Or we could pay 35 supplies and grant, for the duration of this cycle, 30 grain and 15 packs of provisions. We'll go ahead and do that one. That works. And now we have 26. We're not going to get there, unfortunately. This would require, I believe, 3 more settlements. I only have 13 years left, so it's simply not going to happen. But were we to start a new one, we would have access to these previous settlements, and everything would go from there. Now, what I can do, what I'm going to do for the very, very end of this tutorial is show you what happens at the end of the storm. We are going to see this. You see your cycle summary, which gives you your successful towns, your failed towns, everything that went down overall, and your experience gained, and we're going to end it. A new cycle has begun, and the terrain and everything inside of it is completely different. And there is your full cycle loop, everyone. You expand to go find gold seals, to reforge all of the seals, extend the time between your cycles, which will then allow you to get more resources, to upgrade your settlements, allowing you to more ably tackle the seals and reforge them, and then start anew. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this tutorial series. Thank you so incredibly much for hanging out with me as you discovered new things and maybe some old things that you already knew, and maybe I've learned some things along the way as well. I appreciate everything. If you want to support this channel, you can do so by giving this video a like, commenting down below, subscribing to the channel, becoming a YouTube member if you would like to financially support and or purchase this game on Nexus GG, where I get a commission. Should have been plugging that in the whole time. It is what it is. Guys, I've had a blast with this. Be sure to tune in to my review over Against the Storm as well. This is Havoc in a Against the Storm tutorial for absolute beginners, and I'll see you in the next video.